The Boss and the Sauce Show.
Boss and the Sauce Show.
Boss and the Sauce Show.
Boss and the Sauce Show. Here we go.
What up? What up? What up, though? We got folks already out there in the chat, man. Shout out to Daryl. Shout out to AT&T33NC. Y'all already know that's our guy. But yeah, good morning to everybody. Good morning to you, Big Ragu. How you feeling over there?
Good, man. Good morning to you. Good morning to the chat. We got a great card for you guys today. You know, it's probably we're not on a ton of games, but we're on sometimes quality versus quantity is always the way to go. But yeah, we got a good show for you guys today. We're gonna have some guests popping in as our guy DJ always lines them up. But yeah, I'm doing well, man. How you making out?
I'm doing great. You know, last week I had a solid 3-1 on the show. So good week. I turned things around from my 2 and 4 weeks back to back. So I was talked about it last week. You know, I had to switch up some of the things I do. Over analysis, paralysis by over analysis was where I was kind of feeling. So I guess you could say, simplified a little bit, and it worked out for me. So coming back with the same strategy this week, with just a few less picks than normal. The card overall, I mean, there's some great games to watch today, but those games are not really the games that you probably want to get involved with financially. But the kind of a picky card today, this week. Even a couple cappers hit me up and was like, I don't know. So after me going through it and trying to get the best edges I could on the best games, I only came up with a handful myself, y'all. Yeah, so this week is what is this? Week 8 or week
8? Technically week 9 with the week 0, but yeah, the 9th week, week number 8 already.
Hey, this thing is over in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We're gonna be waiting, or we're gonna be in the championship games in probably like 2 weeks.
Then we're gonna be good 5 weeks.
Man, it's gonna be wild, man. It's gonna be wild. And it's coming towards the end. So I guess some teams now, they either are what they are, or it's question mark still there. But a good time to go back and review some of our previous preseason stuff that we put out, and kind of measure up how right we are and where we headed with some of these win totals that we gave out earlier this season. So that's just something interesting if you got a lot of time on your hands, but not everybody has a lot of time. So yeah, man, as my man Dutch would say. But you got any tips or pointers coming in this week 8, some things to look back for the audience?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, now is the time that you kind of know what these teams are all about. To my surprise, going forward was how strong the Pac-12 come out of this season. With I think they have like 6 out of top 25, and even Washington State's got some votes in there. So, but I've noticed one thing about the Pac-12, and that's one of the games we're going to hit on is the USC and Utah game later. But usually, what happens predicted early in the Pac-12 gets all jumbled up in midseason and comes back to fruition towards the end. So I'm not tipping my hat on the cap on that game, but yeah, that was kind of a big surprise for me. And then some of the other stuff, how slow the SEC's gotten to get any major games and anything that kind of jump off the board. Maybe you had the at Alabama, the Texas game early on, but that was a preview of things to come. So SEC a little slow this year. Big 12 doing what they normally do, and same thing in the Big 10. Big 10's been full of early action, with cupcake games. Now they're starting to get in the meat potatoes too. So there's a big one on slate today with Penn State and Ohio State today too.
Yep, and we're gonna talk about some of those later on after we run through our picks. Just some intake that we have on the big games, because I'm sure the people want to know how we feel about those, even though we're not jumping in some of that smoke. But some of the stuff we are, so stay tuned. And let me see. I think I got my guy Weinstein in. Let me see if I can get Weinstein Knock, knock. How you feeling, Wine Time?
There he
Yes,
is.
sir.
On
What's
the
up,
move,
fellas? How
man.
we
There
doing?
he
How we
is.
doing?
Hey,
Doing well.
OC's finest, man. Always on the move, man. It's
Yes,
wide and it's plentiful, so they have to stay on the move out there. But how you feeling this morning, Wine Time?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm ready to get to work with you guys. Talk some college football.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, we talked about it a little earlier. Our car is not as big as it normally is today, so we should be able to go through this pretty fast. Before I even start, I'm gonna tell y'all, go ahead and like and subscribe, and also go follow us all on Twitter. My man Wine Time is really good about putting his plays up, so his plays are probably already up. You're just gonna hear it, as they say, from the horse's mouth right here with us today. And if he has anything else to add. But man, I just want to say appreciate you, man, for showing up every time and doing well this season in the show. This was not even something that I had anticipated on, doing, but it's been a lot of fun, and we're gonna keep it going, man. But I'm just going on and on and on this morning. Let's get to the first game, guys. Let's go. Locked and loaded. Everybody's talking about this game. The total is ridiculous. I think it went down from this number, I believe. But these games happen every year. Air Force, Navy, military specialist right here Who-Bangin is my man, Big Ragu. Tell us about this 9 o'clock early game. First chance to get some money in this game right here. What you feeling on this one?
Yeah, I got some bad info on this, like midweek weather-wise, but I think it's going to be weather. I think is going to be pretty good today. I mean, the big news was, with the Air Force quarterback Larry going out, getting hurt. He's a no-go today, and then the performance that Jones came in. Now, Jensen Jones, I know they were competing pretty tough. They were pretty even going into the season, but Larry got the nod. And I think Jones, he came off the bench against Wyoming, had a couple fumbles, didn't look sharp at all, So, and Calhoun kind of stuck behind him, just to kind of say, hey, this is what happened. This is we got a week to prep this week. So, and anytime they go in against Navy, where Navy's kind of flipped the switch on their offense a little bit because they lost their coach early on, so they're trying to bring more of a pass, not a pass heavy offense, but they're still, they're still triple option. We know what these triple offenses and defenses, they know each other inside and out. In their sleep, they can defend the triple option. So, these numbers usually tend to bode well towards the under. And with the injury to Larrier, him getting hurt, this kid doesn't throw the ball at all, Jones, and they're going to have to put the whole game on the back of Emmanuel Michel. He's their top running back. They split ball handling duties with Larrier. So I look for a lower scoring game. That is a low number though, 33.5 now. Like you said, it's ticked down a little bit. And they're playing in Annapolis on the road, and they're a big favorite. They're like 10-point favorite. My first look was the over, and we talked about this in the chat, but I think these teams know each other way too well. And I think they're both going to be super run heavy now with the fact that, Air Force quarterback is out. So I'm still not going to get to that over though at the 33.5. I do like Navy here. I'm gonna back Navy because I think it's too many points. I think points are going to become at a premium, and I think the game's going to be closer than people think it's going to be. So I think I'll put myself on Navy plus 10 here in Annapolis.
Nice. Now, Wine Time, I believe you on this game too, Wine Time?
Yes, sir. This is actually my biggest play of the week. Ragu, you hit kind of right on the head right there. I think Navy can stay in this game, and I think it's going to be really low scoring. I think points are going to come at a premium. I've got the last 24 years, these Academy games have gone under. Yeah, the books have adjusted the number. I believe it opened up at, correct me if I'm wrong, 40.5 or 39.5.
Yeah.
I saw it at 30. I saw it at 36.5 a couple days ago. I wrote it down right here. I didn't end up pulling the trigger on it till the under 34.5. I see it's at 33.5 now. Definitely still endorse it, but this is my bigger play of the week right here. I'm always on these Academy games the last couple years. I think that I expect this to be more of like a 17-3 type game or 17-10. Points are going to come out of premium. I think Navy can easily stay in this game. With that being said, I took the under 34.5 minus 110.
Under 34. is what you got. And what'd you get for Navy? The +10, Big
Plus
Ragu?
10, yeah. I see some 10s, 9.5s across the board, so I got in at +10.
Okay. All right. My take on that game, and I'm Mountain West, and Air Force is probably the spot that I really wanted to indulge in. Without the quarterback is significant on this team this year. New quarterback from the one they had for quite a few years, and he's injured. I think that really puts a blow on the offense, and I kind of agree with Big Ragu. That number is way too high for that. But the problem with this game is these teams play like a different game when they play each other. Like it's a whole nother experience for both of the teams. So it's kind of hard to cap what you're not gonna get nothing with the numbers that you see or nothing unless you just traditionally follow this game. Then you don't know what to expect right here. So the under historically somehow in that weird matchup or however you want to say it does hit at a high rate. So I would, if anything, take the under. And I guess are they calling the under a public play right now, or a lot of people jumped in on the over?
Well, let's see. Let's look at something here. We're showing we're showing Navy's got some money behind them, a little bit sharper money, and then the under's like 85% of 35% of tickets on the over, 85% of the money on the under.
Yeah, they kind of made it a real public bet when it got to that point. So that's why I jumped off of this game. But let's just keep it going. Next up, Mississippi State and Arkansas. If you want to go a quick back to the previews, we knew Mississippi State would be kind of all over the place with the players they had and the coaching they had coming to being kind of mismatched, and the program over there was very complicated. So a lot of things with Mississippi State. And this Arkansas team, I guess, started off to a slower start than we thought they would be hitting over there. So they got a lot of stuff going over there. So, but in this game, them two versus each other, Arkansas -6.5, over and under 48. Something smells fishy, but it's got to be some money to make off this game, Big Ragu. What you think about this one here?
Yeah, these are two teams that really struggle to run the football. I mean, Mississippi State's averaging like 3 yards per carry the last couple games. Their offensive line hasn't been very good. But like I said, they struggle to move the ball on the ground. And the same thing with Arkansas. They had their struggles. They've lost 5 in a row. They played some tougher games down late with LSU and Alabama, but they have some covers. It's not like their win and loss record. They're like 2-5, but I mean they've had some covers. You made a little bit of money with Arkansas if you back them, but man, one of these offenses has to break through in a big way here, I presume. But and the emphasis here is on the run. Both teams are going to try to establish the run. Jefferson, he's been moving around a lot in the pocket, trying to put the ball downfield. One thing for that is Mississippi State's defense is a little suspect here against the pass, and Arkansas is okay there. So I definitely give the nod to Arkansas here, maybe by margin, possibly. I'm seeing some 6.5, 7s. I think currently 6.5 is the majority, the consensus number, but I think this might be a sneaky over here. When you get two offenses that struggle against two defenses that are a little bit suspect, this could be like a get right game. But who's going to show up here? I have to give the nod to Arkansas here, but I'm on the over. I bet 47.5. I know you got 48 on the screen, and I seen some 46.5s out there, 47. So I would call it a 47 flat and get on Arkansas on the over here. I think one of these teams is going to crack 28. I can see like a 28-21, 27-24 type game here. I think they both move the ball on each other, even though they can't move the ball recently. But against these defenses and the way that they're set up offensively, I think you're going to see a couple pass-heavy games here, and I think that gives an opportunity for maybe 1 or 2 turnovers and, a couple big plays.
Nice. Good breakdown right there, too. You got anything on this one, Wine Time?
Yeah, that was a great breakdown, Big Ragu. With that being said, I don't have anything on this game. I definitely was leaning towards Arkansas on this one. Thought that the line was a little bit fishy at 6.5. It's just kind of tough for me to back Arkansas as a 6.5 point favorite against anyone in the SEC, honestly. I like Arkansas's quarterback KJ. I was expecting him to have a better year this year, honestly. And they're only 2-5 right now. They really need this win. I think they go out there and they get this dub. I might use Arkansas money line in a parlay piece. Might get something going on this. They might throw them in with like a couple other teams. See if I can get even money on something. But I have nothing on this game.
I'll give you the look on this game. Shoo-wee! Let's get it done, boys.
Let's go.
That's my buddy G where he's out in there watching somewhere.
That's what's going on. Shout out to my man Don Play in the chat and our guy Paco Healy's in the house from the SD. Next up, Minnesota, Iowa. In the Big Ten, this is a big game today, believe it or not. Kind of Minnesota's chance to come up in the ranks right here with PJ Fleck. This is Iowa is -3.5 in here. The over and under is 31.5 in Iowa City today. Gonna be a little cold, a little cloudy over there. Kind of Iowa Hawkeye weather anyhow. So my look on this one right here, it was pretty simple for the most part. Iowa kind of owns this series right here. They're 6-1 in the last 7 in this matchup right here. They're 7-0 straight up in the last 7 as well. And the Iowa defense, I believe they're a little bit better than they were last year. So that defense is really thriving. And, no one's ever going to really understand how it really works over there in Iowa. But they figure out ways to get in the end zone, no matter if it's on defense, offense, however they come to play. But PJ Fleck, he has a different type team this year. They show some spurts of being really good at sometimes, and then they show some times as being really bad, like not being able to move the ball. The defense is pretty solid. So that 2 great defenses right here, and lopsided on the offense right here. A great chance for the under, but the under is kind of low. So myself, I'm on Iowa, but I put it down to 3. Just trying to be creative in what I was doing. So I'm jumping off of a parlay that I had with SMU, which I took the hook off of that one. I took that last night. That one basically makes my parlay live. So instead of betting Iowa all over right here, I got Iowa -3 today. So I'm taking Iowa in this one. They're going to figure out some mysterious way to how to get in the end zone, or basically how to score more points than the other team. What you got on this one, Big Ragu?
I got a similar look that you have with this one here. Minnesota, if you want to kind of give this game a little parity, or not really parity, but if you want to go back and look like a similar setup, you have to go back to the beginning of the season when they played Nebraska 13-10. They came away with the victory at home against Nebraska, and I think they were I think Nebraska was getting like 7.5 in that game. So yeah, this is a similar game here, but Iowa's defense, Nebraska's got a pretty good defense too. They get. I know we got the first-year coach back over there, not first-time coach, but he coaches not a similar style. Frenz has been in the league forever. He's like the longest tenured coach in college football right now, like 26 seasons, some ridiculous number like that. But anyways, what the Iowa's, you're not going to out Iowa in this game, okay? That's the bottom line here. So, like you said, Iowa's going to find a way. They're at the top of the heap in a lot of the defensive categories as far as, yards per play, scoring, the whole 9 yards. Minnesota's defense is not as good as Iowa's, but Iowa's, I think they threw the ball 6 times in the last 4 games. 6 times they put the ball up in the air. That's it. So, and then they have one of the lowest yards per carry. I think they're top 3 in the lowest yards per attempt. Yards per attempt. They're like 4.6 or something like that. Some real low number. But anyway, and that's the average. That's not just the run game. That's average. So it's going to be an ugly game. But, yeah, I think Iowa's going to sneak away. Buy the hook on this one if you're concerned, because that's going to come into play possibly. But I can see, like you said, like a 14, maybe like a 13-7 or, a 14-10 type of game here. If Iowa can muster 2 touchdowns up, who knows? Even if Minnesota get 2 scores, I'd be surprised here too. But unders, look, when I see these low 30s, I actually got this game capped out at about 26 points. So, I mean, it's a little iffy, but I was telling the guys in the chat this morning, I'd rather bet a lower 30s total under than like a 38 or a 39 or something like that. So there's more value built into that number, believe it or not. As low as it is, it's low for a reason. So yeah, I wouldn't be afraid to bet the under, but I like the side better.
Yeah, I got it at 17-10 Iowa. So
Yeah,
that's
you
right
go.
there too. What you got on this one, Weinstein?
Yes, sir. I do have an official play on this. I did move on the under 31 minus 110. I think this is going to be a really low scoring game. You guys both hit this perfectly over the head. I think I have my parlay piece now with Arkansas. I think I'm going to parlay up Iowa money line and Arkansas money line. I think I could get almost plus money on that too. I'm going to look into that after the show. But with that being said, I mean, Iowa, this place, it's a tough place to play, man. Everyone goes to these games. It's going to be a crazy environment. DJ, you said they always somehow find a way to get in the end zone. Every game, it seems like they get a pick six, a fumble recovery touchdown, punt return touchdown, kick return touchdown.
Yeah.
It seems like they're scoring points however they want on any three sides of the ball. I think that Iowa wins this game. I love the breakdown from both of you guys. I'm going to move on the Iowa and Arkansas money line parlay. But my real official play is on the under 31 right now. That's what I got, 31. I see 31.5 on the screen. I'm not sure if it's at 31.5 now, but I got the 31. Lock me in on that.
There you go. Yeah, some of these lines I got from earlier in the week. So yeah, they've moved some. But live lines are great, but I like to see where the line came from, and I think that's
For sure.
important. So I always do it that way. But let's
And
keep it rolling. Go for it.
Yeah, I was going to touch on this. What you said too, Big Ragu. I'd rather move on an under in a lower 30s game than a higher 30s game. I just think
I
it's that low
like
for
the
a
under.
reason.
I do. I think most people have a hard time betting under 31 than they will laying like minus 3.5. Not that I'm just saying that to appease, what people want to hear or nothing, but I think, just either it's a 50-50 split for me on this game. So I think Iowa still wins, but just in case they get 3 interception run backs and it puts it over, but I doubt that happens too either. But yeah, it's gonna be a bare knuckles type game here, and like you said, under's a great play here, I think too.
Yes, sir.
And, I think everybody agrees with that one. Next up, Colorado State and UNLV. Y'all know this got to be one of my games. Just in this game, it's just going to be so much offense in this game. It's ridiculous. Between the two teams, they had about 838 total offensive yards, and they're allowing something way crazy too, like almost 800 yards as well. 426 for Colorado State and 411 for UNLV. Just continuous pressure. That's how they play. But I like what Barry Odom got going on over here with this UNLV team. And I'm not going to even, Jay Navarro. He's gaining some of my trust this year, especially in his offense. He's been able to put up points on everybody, and UNLV, they'll play teams according to how they come at them. So they're not there to change how Colorado State plays, and they play fast, a lot of passing. So UNLV is probably going to go and do the same thing. UNLV basically has 2 quarterbacks now because the guy that came in for Bloomfield, he did really well. It's kind of hard to pull Bloomfield, but Bloomfield's still on the sideline, but this guy's definitely in the game, and they've been winning with him there. UNLV 6-0 ATS, just in case y'all didn't know that. 4-2 to the over, and Colorado State 3-3 to the ATS, and 5-1 to the over. So a 4-2 to the over and a 5-1 to the over. Like everything points to over in here. The number is up at 64. I think that came down, as a matter of fact. I think I see
62 and a half now.
Yeah, 62 and a half. Well, I see 61 and a half. 62 and a half on this game right here. So it's tremendously dropping down. But I'm going up. And on top of that, they playing that at Allegiant Stadium, where they say I had to look this up too. So Allegiant Stadium is turf and grass. They preserve the grass for the Raiders, and the UNLV prefers to play on turf. So they should be speeded up a little bit as well with the turf. So everything just seems so fast in here. I hate to be at this point of the season really taking a total up here like that. But I mean, I've been saying all these weeks that I'm tired of waiting to the the game, somebody got to score 30 for me to win these overs and stuff. But here go one that they probably going to score fast. Probably going to look into playing something first half on here as well. I'm not sure, but they should score. The passing percentage is high for these teams too. Like they're really passing at a high rate. So just going to be a lot of value and opportunities for them to score. So let's hope they don't do no crazy stuff and show it with some defense today. And this game goes over the total in this one. Anybody else on this one?
Yeah, I am. What about you, Wonton? You got anything?
I do not. Take it away.
All right, well, let me touch on what my man DJ was talking about offensively. I agree wholeheartedly on the look there, with both teams scoring points. The only thing I just looked at the percentages coming back. I'm a little nervous now, just a little bit, but you know what? Sometimes the sharps aren't so sharp in their minds, they may be, but sometimes you got to push it back, and then that kind of helps our cause out. If we like the over, we get a better number to work with here. We've made some money doing that a lot of times too. So it's about getting a better number. But one thing's for sure, like you said, with UNLV being 5-1 on the season, 6-0 ATS, and they made a believer out of me about 3 games in, because I bet against them early on, and their offense is legit. They can put points up on the board, and as a matter of fact, they've done it quite often. For that matter, they've put like 40, 44, 45, 45, 44. The only time they didn't score 40 points and they only scored 7, that was against Michigan. I know Colorado State isn't in Michigan, and at the same time, I think they're still going to score into the 30 range. So I'm on a team total with UNLV here, which I like that look. I got it at 34 and a half. As long as you can get it under 35, I know it's probably pushing back a little bit. That's what made me nervous because some of the bigger bets are coming back on the underside. So maybe if you want to bet the team total, you can wait because the number drops. But I don't have a problem laying UNLV team total over anything under 35. Bet it.
Man, the chat is going crazy in here. Nothing but really, really OG low backers in here, man. They dog 420, Red Girl, Paco Healy, Dummy Gun. It doesn't get better than that if you know anything about the low baggers and how this thing evolved. And let's keep it rolling, though, man. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all showing up. Next up, Booyah. Very controversial game right here. Not so much as to the matchup, but the line seems very high. But this is the true measurement. Have you been watching Florida State to know, can they cover this 14 and a half? And how real is Duke's defense in these high caliber game right here? What's his name? Elko over there.
Yeah,
he's taking Duke to another direction. That guy's a product of Notre Dame. And Brian Kelly and stuff. So things been working out for him. But the number is still high, 14 with a hook. I'm not sure what it's at now, but when I looked at it earlier, 14 with a hook and it's still standing, that's got to indicate some things going on. Help me understand this, Big Ragu.
Yeah, they're daring you to bet Florida State here. I mean, the big question mark of the day is, Elko, he's looking at a coach of the year type season. What he's done with the Duke program, and they're well coached all the way around. Defensively they're solid. I said that early on. When we started doing this beginning of the season, Duke's a good defensive squad. They play in the ACC. Yeah, so what? But they play. They play Notre Dame really well. They could have won that game easily. So they've been in some battles. They're well coached. They're seasoned, and the team runs around the quarterback, Leonard. He's the thing is he's dinged up. We don't know if he's a go 100%. We still don't know that, but they've been preparing for him all week. So that's where the line is kind of stood at the 14 and a half here. Florida State, we've seen what they've done early on in the season. When with the break, the first game of the season forward, they had a little scare at BC, but they've been money all year long with the offense. They're putting up big offensive numbers, and their defense has always been right there, even when the offense was a little shaky. Not for long, but the defense has been super, super, super nice for FSU here. So with the question marks with Leonard, and this is probably going to be the last team FSU faces that's probably going to be ranked. They're playing at home. It's a homecoming game for them too. And they're going to be ready for this game, I think. And I think they're trying to get you off of this game with that hook. with the 14.5. You know what? I'm going to be a fanboy today, not because I am, which I am, because they're talented. They got NFL caliber on both sides of the ball. Guys came back. This is the game they wanted on to put them over the top to catapult them into the national championship scene. If they keep it going, then they got to start talking again about FSU, possibly playoff contender, which we knew that to start off. But lay the hook, lay the 14.5, get to the window. Don't even think about it. 17-point plus win today.
I knew he didn't wear the shirt for nothing. He didn't wear it for nothing, y'all. Where you at with this one? Wine time? You interested in this game?
I personally don't have a play on this. I love the breakdown. I think Florida State has a great chance at a Final Four spot if they get this win, though. This is so important for them to get this. The rest of the way, I think they can. The rest of the schedule is pretty cupcake-ish, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have it next to me, but it is. Yeah. Florida State's a good team. They've got a good quarterback, future NFL player. They've got good guys all over the offense. I expect them to win this game. 14.5 is a lot of points for me to take. That's why I stayed off this one. I do expect Florida State to win this game, though, at home, especially it being homecoming. They might blow these guys out. But I'm not sure if Miles Leonard is playing in this one. If he's not playing, I think FSU blows the doors off them.
Yeah, that's all key. But here's the thing. They got very good coaches on the other sideline. And sometimes I do question, like my son, he went to FSU. I've been watching a lot of FSU football, especially, when Norvell first got there. He has been a bonehead with some of his play calls. And when you match up with Florida man-to-man, if you have the right play call, you're getting 20-plus yards every time. So Fuller's got to be on his game, which the last couple games, they've pinned their ears back and they've come aggressive, which I like that. So if they stay in that mode, Duke's in trouble today. But if they go that man-to-man stuff, and Leonard's playing, it could be in trouble. So,
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's called ROI, return on investment. Big Ragoose wants some of his money back that he spent there with his kid
I need
going
some.
over there.
I gotta have some.
Return on investment play of the day right there. So jump on that one. Let's go. Next up, big game on the west side at USC, not too far from here. 5 o'clock start time. I don't know why. It's beautiful. This should be a night game over here in Cali. But anyways, USC coming off the loss to big bad Notre Dame. USC -7 in here. The under and over is at 53. I don't know. So one of my looks on this game, if I had to just take a play, is that teams struggle after playing Notre Dame. Like, I can't put all my hope that the quarterback here at USC is going to show up and have revenge for his bad play last week against a Utah defense that can be just as physical as Notre Dame was. Some of his play last week might have opened up some keys to the puzzle and make it even worse on defense. On offense for them. And their defense, they can't stop pretty much nobody. I don't know how these guys are size appropriate and got all this speed and all this stuff, and they just really can't stop anyone. A lot of teams have catapulted, like they was ready to throw their season in the trash in Arizona State, and after playing USC, they feel much better about themselves. So I stayed off of this one, but if I had to take a play, I probably would take Utah, but it would be kind of bad. Like, I'm off of it though. But my man Big Ragu, he somehow, even though sometimes I don't even think he knows it, but he's a great West Coast capper because he really be hitting these games on the nail. USC, a team that I think you're like undefeated in your plays on USC for the year. If we really go look back,
that's a shock because I usually my worst conference is the Pac-12. But I want to defer this to my man Wine Time because I want to see what he's got in this spot here.
Ooh, Ragu the first. Let's go, Wine Time. Let him have it.
Yeah, Bigger, you touched on, or DJ, you touched on it last week. I mean, we touched on the show. Notre Dame's defense was going to completely shut down Caleb Williams. Utah, I think, is going to be very similar. This defensive line is super similar to Notre Dame. They've got guys everywhere. These guys, they got a lot of talent on the defense. Very underrated team in the Pac-12. Even though they don't have a quarterback, they're still a top 12 team, I believe, top 15 team. With that being said, I bet Utah in both games last year against USC. First one I lost. I had the minus, I want to say it was the -3, and they won by 2. Did beat them, take them again in the Pac-12 title game. Cash it on that. I just think Utah's going to go out there. They're going to play harder than USC. USC has way more talent than them on defense. They've got 4 or 5-star guys everywhere on the defense, and they still can't stop anyone. It's pretty wild. I think they need to get rid of that defensive coordinator that Lincoln Riley's had since his Oklahoma days, and that's kind of what stopped him from going to it's kind of what stopped them from going to a Final Four or winning a Final Four game at least. So with that being said, I did take the Utah +7. I just think this line is a little weird. Yeah, Utah doesn't have a quarterback. Cam Rising's most likely not going to play. That's why it is a 7-point advantage for USC, and they are playing at home. I just think Utah's going to go out there and play harder. They're going to want it more. These guys aren't making NIL money. USC players are everywhere on the field. I think Utah's going to go out there with a chip on their shoulder. They've got a coaching advantage in Kyle Whittingham, in my opinion. I know that's a rough take, but Kyle Whittingham's a great coach. He's been doing it for a while in Utah. The kids buy into his program every single year. They don't have 5-star athletes. They got 3 4-star guys, but they make it work somehow. And I took the Utah +7. I won't be surprised if USC comes out here and blows the doors off them because they can't do that. They do have Caleb Williams, but I think this Utah defense is pretty similar to Notre Dame, especially on the defensive line. They're going to be getting to Caleb all day long. So take Utah +7 -110.
See, that's a great breakdown. Now, I'm going to be on the island by myself here with this USC play. But hey, there's a lot of great breakdowns by both of you guys on it, and this is one of the, I'm not gonna say a classic case of, but like DJ was saying, they got knocked around pretty good by Notre Dame. Next out, do they bounce back here? And it's a similar, not a similar look, but just as good. With them being number 1 in total defense in the Pac-12, number 1 in the nation on third down stops. All the accolades on the defensive side, but it gets pretty ugly on the offensive side for them. Now, to your point, Weinstein, like you said, with all the 4- and 5-star recruits they have, NIL guys that are playing on the defensive side, they do not, make the big plays. They don't make the turnovers and whatnot, but they are pretty good at getting pressure in the backfield, and that could be a little bit of a demise for them too, for Utah, because with not having the best quarterback look in the backfield, maybe they force a couple mistakes, possibly, unforced errors per se, maybe not turnovers by sacks or by by default, but put pressure on the quarterback and let him make some mistakes. And like you said, offensively, Caleb Williams, all the stuff, and Utah trying to go for a 3-peat, which I doubt they get there. But USC was picked at the top of the heap, and the reason being, there's so many great talented offenses in the Pac-12. That's why they have had trouble on defense. And the tougher schedules yet to come for USC. They still got to come up. They still got to play Washington. They got to play Oregon. They got to play UCLA. So this is a must. If USC is going to get back on the national championship map, today is the day they got to get it done. So all the pressure's on Williams. They got to step up. You want to be an NFL owner? You want to make the big money? Show me today, Williams. Show me today. So Williams here and lay the 7.
Yeah,
I love the breakdown.
I see that. I see that clear vision too with that, and that's a lot of the hype around the games that revenge spot, gotta win. It gets only harder from here with the schedule. Right. Like there's so many looks right there, but I don't know.
50-50 in my book, but I'm gonna be on the USC side, lay the 7.
We see what Lincoln Riley is really made of. He's a fairly young coach, head coach, shall I say? So. He still has a lot to prove out there. So he still hasn't been able to come up with a defense. He carried this guy with bad defense over here with him. Makes no sense, but he's a great offensive-minded coach. But they may be catching up to you, Lincoln. You might have to rearrange and change to keep things going. So let's keep this show going. Last pick of the day, Mountain West, where I do it the best. This one is crazy. I'm just kind of like, I'm not really throwing darts on the board right here. I mean, I really capped this one out, but at the same time, it's probably one of my riskier plays on the thing, trusting San Diego State offense, because they've had problems with this offense on and off all year. But they're a great team, that another one of those teams, and a lot of these defensive teams like Wyoming, Iowa, San Diego State, they figure out ways to get in the end zone. and that's what they've been doing. I don't really care for the quarterback of this one over here at San Diego State. I don't really care for what's the name, Maiden, too much,
Jaded.
but yeah, Jaden Maiden. But sometimes he gets plays done, like he you know. But my real angle on this one is just kind of fading Nevada as they die off in the dust, because it's really bad organization wise over there. You know, we're getting late in the season. This is where kids start giving up. Some of them is already thinking about, I'm transferring here, I'm transferring there. Last week was their last chance to light the fire, and they came out with one of the best efforts they could against UNLV and the Fremont Cannon, and they all out of gas right here. I don't think they get on the road to come over here to Snapdragon and play a great game today. San Diego State defense is definitely not what it's been in the past, but it's still the same system, and they may take advantage of Nevada, and the defense here at San Diego State plays a little better today, and San Diego State gets on the board. And I like the San Diego State. Now, I got it at 11, so it's been beat down a lot. I can't put my money with Ken Wilson over here. The offense gave up 17 sacks already. The defense only has 3 interceptions versus a San Diego State team that thrives off of turnovers, with 9 interceptions for the season. So San Diego State at home figures out how to put plenty of points on the board, and they cover today. That's why the number's up high. Why would we be back in San Diego State when the offense is so trash? But that's the play on this one for me. I was gonna take the under as well, but the books are pretty close on this one with the 48. After I really broke it down, I capped it down at 31-17, which is a solid 48 in this one. So I fell off of the under that I was going to place on this one. I was going to double up on this game. So I really only got like 3 picks this week. Because I'm not going to double up on this one. I'm just going to take San Diego State. And it's another one of those ones. The public is coming in. The point spread is going way down. And who's going the other way? Me in the Mountain West. So what? San Diego State. They get it done today. Anybody else on this game right here?
No, not on it. My only question was, how many points you think Nevada is going to give up? How many points you think Nevada is going to give? What did you say you had the score at?
I had it at 31-17.
31-17.
Yeah.
I wonder what the team total on Nevada would be here. I'll look it up, but no, I don't have a play on it right now.
Yeah, team total. I might look into the team total under on Nevada too, depending on what number they're giving up. But you got anything on this one, Wine Time?
I do not. I watched the San Diego State Hawaii game last year. Last week it was that late night 8:00 game out here on the West Coast. That defense of San Diego State really came out. I mean, it was Hawaii. I believe San Diego State had 3 turnovers in the first quarter, and they didn't even get points off all of them. The San Diego State offense is pretty bad. You mentioned Jaden Maiden, really good athlete. He played safety, I believe, when he came to San Diego State, and they asked him to play quarterback just because of how good of an athlete he is. But he just can't really throw the ball that well. But San Diego State does have a good defense, so it might be tough for Nevada to score here. So I do like the look on San Diego State to blow them out, but I just wonder how they're going to score. But if they can get those turnovers again like they did last week, could be easy.
Yeah, they got to get that Snapdragon Stadium paid for, so they got to get some wins on the board. Before we jump away from this game, we're gonna bring in our guy Ramon. What do you think about this San Diego State? I know you know a lot about the Aztecs, right?
Well, I was going to say, Big Boss, Snapdragon Stadium, unfortunately, might end up being more known right now for the San Diego Wave women's soccer team, unfortunately. But I'm glad you're picking them today to cover these double digits. I'm scared and worried, but I'm here. I just came on. You asked me San Diego State. I know I'm here to make my FCS picks, but I'm going to take the under in this game, Big Boss. I know you're saying it's right on. I'm gonna dial it back just about 4 or 5 points and put it right in the mid-40s here in this one. Maybe that helps actually Nevada get there, but you mentioned it. You are laying an increased price here. Was I happy with San Diego State last week? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. On Twitter, me and offensive coordinator Ryan Lindley of the Aztecs, we do follow each other, and that doesn't give me any insight. We're just longtime friends. He's from the area down there, but he made Maiden that quarterback that you said they just they didn't have the options available. He wanted to be a quarterback. We knew him as a safety because that's where he played, but he was trying to be a quarterback when he started his after he got out of high school and everything like that. So I'll go with the under so we can have a little, maybe we could do a little parlay there, Big Boss.
There we go. And shout out to my man Paco. He's a San Diego guy at the heart for true. And he's on the assets. Said they get it right today as well.
All right.
That's it for our ones that we had already set up. Now I'm gonna let my man Ramon go ahead and do his FCS right here on the Boston Sauce. That's never been done before, but he's been showing up week after week and giving the people what they want. So give them what they want today, Ramon.
Well, this is what's great about it, Big Boss, because, I do videos all week, too, on the college games and did some of it this morning. You guys did yours, and there's really no time to do FCS videos. So you come on here, and I'm just going to give you my plays. We're still looking to smash the card here. We've had some winners. But let me just roll these off to you real quick and get you out of here. I see these things moving like crazy. So let me make sure I'm looking at the right line here because there is movement. All right, here's the one. Long Island is hosting Merrimack. I'm laying 3.5 with Long Island. The steam came in on Merrimack. Long Island's 0-4. Merrimack's 2-3. Long Island's favored. I understand that the steams come in on the team that has victories, but bottom line, the team that's the favorite is the winless team. Give me Long Island, the winless team, minus 3.5 against Merrimack. I'm usually all over the steam on a lot of these. I pay for the service. I try to jump on them if I like them to get the best line. Here I'm fading my buddies, the Sharps, South Carolina State and Delaware State going out to some HBCU action. I'm going to go over. The steam came in under here. I'm going over 47 now with South Carolina State and Delaware State. And one more couple down the card here. I'm going to lay 5 points on the road. Let me make sure here. 5 points with Brown. I better call it 5.5. I might as well call it 6 by the time you guys get there. Let me lay 6 on the road with Brown over Cornell in Ivy League action today. Brown in this one, 3-2, Cornell 2-3, but favored on the road for a reason. Steam did come in on Brown. I'm chasing this steam here. Brown by a touchdown or more. There's my 3 picks. Long Island minus 3.5 against Merrimack. South Carolina State, Delaware State over 47, and Brown minus 6 against Cornell. And I can't wait. I can't wait for this game at the top of the hour, guys, with Ohio State and Penn State. Obviously, the featured game of the day. I'm sure you guys went over it. I will.
Oh, we didn't talk about it.
Oh my gosh, we didn't.
Hey,
Yeah, I was going to plug something in at the end too, a little bit something.
Hey, to tell you the truth, that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna go over these big games for the day, and that was the first one on the list. My man Ramon's such a professional. He wrote it all the way in there like freestyle. Let's keep it going on this game right here.
All right,
Dealing with professionals here, people.
Okay, I'll lead into what my pick on it. What I went on record on the year. I do have a premium pick on it. You know how I roll, but in this one, look, the total for me, right? This has been a pretty solid dead under, I think, and a lot of sharp guys are on the under here, but I think the teams are a little bit too effective, 65% passing for both these guys. I know that these guys aren't knocking our socks off or anything, and I know we're thinking Big Ten. I think the teams are just a little bit too good for the total to go lower here, as we've seen pressure from the market. So I'm contrarian here on this one, and I'm going to take the over with these two teams. I just think no home runs here, no big, but maybe just over the top a little bit, get behind a little bit, get behind the linebackers, rumble down the field. Good plays, chunk plays to help get this one over a good game. I don't think we're seeing Iowa and Minnesota here, guys. We got 2 6-0 teams. There will be some touchdowns.
I like it right there. For me in this game, I'm gonna stay all the way off of it. But if I had to place a play on it, I'm gonna have to take Penn State. Ryan Day, your days are numbered for coming after my guy Lou Holt, man. So I hope Penn State finally gets over the hump. Like they have bad luck with this team right here. They always seems somehow to mess this game off. But I think on the road, which they've been doing much better on the road in the last 2 years now, because they used to be a bad road team. So on the road, getting 4 points more than the field goal, this game could definitely come down to a field goal. Ohio State still has some little sluggish parts in their offense. The defense pretty much kind of remains the same, but Penn State, they just offering a little something different on offense and defense. It's Penn State football, but it's just turned up just a little bit on the offense and defense, and they may have a chance. It's time for some upset, guys. It may be the best upset of the day on the board today to take Penn State for the win.
Yeah, good game, good setup, good setup. To me, the whole game boils down to Drew Lar. I mean, there's a lot of pieces around. We know Ohio State's always been prolific with the pass game, the run game, just a well-balanced team all the way around. Penn State, in my book, a little more run-heavy package. Ohio State's like 50-50, Penn's probably like 60-40. But, the kid Lar, they're going to have to contain him and not let him to make the big plays. And Ohio State's pretty good. Ohio State's got a good defense too. They both got great defenses here, but I think, like you said, there's too much offense on the field to not allow some touchdowns to be to come to play here. So I agree. I kind of like the over a little bit here, even though the numbers show different. I just think we're going to see some fireworks. There's going to be some trick bag plays coming. There's going to be some special team plays. There's going to be some big defensive plays. So. And I think the points are not going to be at a premium. I think they're going to be tough to cover because I don't see a blowout coming either way. I just see a lot of fireworks coming both ways. So even though there's defense on the field, I think big plays are coming.
Nice.
Yeah, guys, great breakdowns by all you guys. Honestly, I do not have a play on this one. I've been looking at Penn State. I just think they've been blowing the roof off everybody these last couple of weeks, man, and they look good. Just whenever it comes to the big game against Ohio State, it feels like they always don't show up for these kind of games. That's the only thing that worries me. I think Penn State's playing the better football, though, honestly. With that being said, I'm just going to stay away from this game and enjoy it. I'm going to probably be watching that Navy Air Force game because I got a big play in that one. So I'll probably be switching back and forth between the two, but I'll be paying more attention to that one.
Hey, right. Did we talk about last week, James Franklin and covering the spread? Did we mention that, guys? Did we talk about, because, I know he's on the road here, but the talk has been, did we talk? Yeah. Covering numbers, right? No hotter team in the country right now than James Franklin wanting to cover for the alumni. They say, hey, let's take all the money we win. Let's put it in the NIL. Let's just make this one big money churner here. We'll cover spreads against bad teams at home. We'll roll it up. We'll all bet on the Nittany line. James Franklin's become really popular all of a sudden. Found a way to kind of get everybody on his side a little bit, running up these scores. A little bit different situation here today, but no doubt among the hottest in the country right now covering numbers, Penn State.
Yeah, 11 in a row for Penn State, W's that is. And then, last year, they're like little brother looking in on two big brothers. They want to make a statement. Today's the day for them. If they're going to make it, it's got to happen today.
That's what I'm saying. Next up, this one right here. I don't know if anybody got anything to say on this one. Lead us into this one right here. This, one of the top games on the board. The goalpost got thrown off the field last year with this Tennessee game with Alabama. And I think there's some animosity there. And I think that number might be kind of high for an Alabama team that we've seen slip up. Today could be a slip-up day for Alabama. But what do you guys think about this one?
I did move on Tennessee. I got +8.5. You could get +9 right now. I would take the +9. Just too big of a number for Alabama to cover, in my opinion. I know they're playing at home, but Tennessee's a pretty good team, man. I can see them easily staying within one score of this one. This is going to be an exciting one to watch as well, but I did move on Tennessee plus the 8.5. If you get the +9, I like that even more. I see +9, so if you can get that, I would definitely move on that.
Nice.
What you got? You got anything?
Yeah, I went under in this one. As far as the side, I think Milroe, whatever happened there, that one. Remember when I came on here? I'm like, oh my gosh, Tyler Buckner's starting. What was Milroe shouldn't have been out of that game. Obviously, there was not. I don't think it was an injury. There was something to that scenario there with Milroe out because he's proving to be very capable. It looks like to me, and he wasn't looking that inefficient. Maybe to warrant if we knew this was coming, maybe. But he's looked good. I just expect I expect SEC style defense, and maybe Alabama can clamp them down. Whether they get the money, I'm not sure. But I got to think this one maybe low 40s for me.
Yeah, you want to talk about a number that's been crashing? That total's been friggin' crashing. I mean,
no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean they've hit it hard every angle. Just and you know, it's fair to say. I mean, you think the number's too far gone? You still think there's value in the 47.5?
I'm still releasing it. I mean, I gave it out several days ago on the air.
Yeah, two offenses that are struggling pretty bad right now. You know, Milton. He's no hooker, that's for sure. And then it's surprising when hypo offense because they're usually putting points up, even though it's Bama. You know, it's a revenge spot for Bama too. Let's not forget that, obviously. So yeah, I mean that's kind of built into the number too. But can Bama cover the number? I'm off of the game, but it'll be definitely a must-watch game.
There you go. If you had to take a play on that one, what would you take, Big Ragu?
I would lean probably towards the under. I'm with Ramon on this spot here. Even though the numbers, you know, like it's crashed down.
It's got to be 6 or 7 points right now off that total. When I talked about it several days ago, it was high. You know, hard to say now. I'm still sticking with it though. I think Alabama. Nothing unwind time here. I agree. Double digits might be tough to get, but I am favoring Bama to get pretty close to that number. To me, you know. 24-14. It could be something really, really interesting today. I don't know, maybe not that much D, but I'm thinking D. Okay.
There you go. It's low for a reason. You know, that's how I would look at it. The book said it low for a reason. So I like that look too. Now, this is an interesting game to me as well. This one kind of hit my eye at the beginning. I looked into it. I jumped off of it. But I don't know. This game is okay. So according to my edges, this is a interstate game right here where you always want to take the points because you never know how hot the flame is when these two teams meet up. These two teams particularly haven't met up in a long time. Houston obviously trying to make a name for themselves here. And Texas, you know, they had a tough loss. And they're trying to straighten things out and still get a look at a big picture of going to the SEC, which ain't really much because the SEC's not doing well right now. They need to handle their schedule right here in the Big 12. They got an Oklahoma team that's already tapped on them that's ready to win the whole thing. So I don't know. I was tempted to jump on Houston plus the points. I think if you're going to take this game right here, it's probably the only way to go is to take those points and hope. What's his name? Dan Holgerson. Holgerson and what he has over there, what he got going over there at Houston. So I capped it earlier, you know, in our pregame, you know, preseason stuff that we had that Houston was getting lucky for having so many injuries last year. That was their downfall last year, that they had so many injuries. But coming over into this year, they got a lot of those guys back, and they got some fresh meat up there, and they've been putting a better product on the field, even though they took, I think, a couple losses this year. I think in this Texas, we're going to say Austin versus Houston, Texas matchup, that Houston has to put something up and show that some kind of resistance either in the first half or in the second half. And I think there's some way to cover this game taking Houston. Anybody, if you had to put a play on this one, where would you go with it, Big Ragu?
I'd probably put it on the Texas team total over. Texas Tech 49, TCU 36, Rice 43. That's what they put up on Houston. So maybe look towards Texas team total over.
There you go. How about you, Wine Time?
Yeah, if I had to take a play in this one, I think I would lean on Houston. I just think that's a lot of points. I would take the plus 23.5. I didn't look too much into this game, though. I'm not going to lie. Instead, I'll give out a different play. took the Wisconsin-Illinois game under 41 minus 110. I believe it's at 40.5 right now, but I did move on the under 41 yesterday. Ramon, you're on that too?
Well, I just like these Big Ten. I was thinking about the Iowa. I was going to say, like, take the Iowa game under 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. I did take the under 31 in the Iowa game as well.
Okay. I think in this one, yeah, Ragu, I know the spread's gone up a little bit. So, yeah, maybe I lean to Texas here. I think there's going to be too much variance for me, but maybe to get on the side. Maybe I can take that field goal with Houston. But for me, why wouldn't? There's a reason, I guess, why they haven't played in 20 years, right? Andre Ware's not out there, and Texas won every game back in the old days. Maybe we could go back 30 years and find that win with those guys when these teams. Maybe they should play, and they will be playing obviously now, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe maybe Houston will get back to the glory. Those were kind of glory days in a way, right? Offensively, they were the talk of the country there for a couple of years. As many years ago, as my guys Ragu and Big Boss remember. But I would think over, right? I mean, Houston ain't going to slow Texas down, are they? I know we're dealing with a 60 here, but I can probably figure this one out and figure
a 20 type of game.
45 to 28, 45 to 31.
41 is the team total for Texas.
Well, I guess that does put me over the team total then. Let me get on with Ragu, and I'll take over in the game as well. Houston may just end up with something on the back end because this is a nice game for Texas to showcase all their players. You mentioned about it. I don't know a little bit of all about the makeup of it. We know Texas draws from all over, but I imagine you're going to want to get a few guys in the game in this one. If you're Texas, you probably have some kids want to get them in their hometown or something like that. Anything can happen on the variance, I think, in this game. So just give me the over.
Maybe a style points game for Texas because they're sitting like rank 8th. And, maybe some of the other teams get eliminated through attrition and they kind of sneak up the ladder. So, they're going to want
to have great ballers, man. You want to impress the kids there too, and have them come over to Austin.
Right, Sarkisian.
Yeah, I also like that over too because Big 12 games, they mysteriously go over sometimes. Just they score 60 points in one half in the Big 12. It'd be look like under in the first half and way over the second half. That game might go up to like 70, 80 points, maybe even 90. If Hogerson actually has some type of advantage and gets to play his offense the way he plays it, they're definitely going to score a lot of points. But let me jump back to all of our plays before we get ready to wrap it up. We appreciate everybody out there in the chat. The chat been going crazy. We got a bunch of people as we in here live. I appreciate everybody for showing up and everybody's input and all that good stuff. But let's look at our plays for the day. Me, myself, I come in with 3 solid plays right here. Iowa, I got it -3, bought down the hook, coming in off of a parlay. So I didn't even have to lay nothing on it this morning. I'm just letting it go. And then Colorado State at UNLV over 61.5. For me, San Diego State -11 is my other play. If y'all in the chat, you already see my man Big Ragu put his up here. Let's see if I got him right.
I'm going to put him again. I'm going to put him right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I got him down for Navy +10, Mississippi State, Arkansas over 47, Iowa -3.5. He prefers to buy the hook down as well. UNLV team total over 34.5. SSU. This is like the Georgia Bulldogs play right here. Just slay it and put it out there. -14.5. And USC -7 in this one for Big Ragu. And my man Weinstein, who's having technical difficulties right here. So far, I got him down for Air Force Navy under 34, Minnesota, Iowa under 31.5, and Utah +7. And that was our picks for that. And then I also got, let me see, I got these written down. Our FCS plays from our guy, Ramon, who's been killing it, showing up for the FSC every week. FCS, I'm sorry. But he has a Long Island laying a 3.5, South Carolina State and Delaware State over 47, and Brown -6. I'm put a little action on that today and ride with my man Ramon. He got a glow today. I'm telling you guys, you got to be able to cap the capper. My man Pete taught us that long time ago. But he got that glow today, and I'm going to tell some of these.
Heck yeah.
And that was after my high school team in the game of the century last night down in San Diego. 2 8-0 teams meeting. My team lost in double overtime after losing in 4 overtimes to the same team last year
Oh,
for the
wow.
championship. My team loses in double overtime. They're still going to be in the open division big ball with Lincoln and Carlsbad, but they lost the big game last night. So there's a glow, but it's only because I'm all excited about the college games. I'm bummed about my team losing last night.
So
We
let's
know you
go.
put a lot of hard work into your high school work, my man. Much appreciated on that.
Oh
Yeah,
that's
thank
where it
you.
all starts. That's always an advantage because that's where it all starts. So stuff like when Slovis first came out. If you followed a little high school, you knew that was coming at the beginning. But
Can I say
go for
one
it.
about that, DJ?
Go
About
for
that,
it.
Big Boss, is that one player who I remember seeing play my team several years ago now has reemerged as a a little bit of a dark horse here is a Jaden Daniels is really starting to rack up those numbers at LSU, and he went to Big Boss, he went to Cajon High School
Yeah.
and was great before he went to ASU, and that's where you kind of see these guys, right? So I've followed him all the way, and boy, I'd love to see him put up some big numbers and overtake these guys. I'd like to see Daniels actually steal it.
There you go, right there. We're gonna close it up. We're gonna start with my man Weinstein and come back on over to me, and y'all give them any last words, any last picks, where to find you, who you are, what you ate for breakfast, what you having for dinner, and just don't give them the last 4 of your social security. But let's go, Weinstein.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you guys can find me on X, Wine Time Sports. Gave out, I believe I have 7 plays today. Gave them out yesterday. Again, appreciate you guys for always having me on every week. It's a blessing to be here, share the screen with you guys, talk sports, learn something. Like I say, learn something new every Saturday on here. So thanks for having me, guys. Let's just keep it going. Let's cash some tickets.
Let them know what's going on. Always coming in every week, my man Ramon. Y'all know he puts in the work. He does a 2-hour show before he even shows up here with us. And he does a 2-hour show every morning. You can tap in with him. And he's very knowledgeable. He goes down the line, gets at every game, wiggles it, jiggles it a little bit, and comes up with the goods. But let them know where they can find you and all that good stuff, Ramon.
Yeah, I would say just start at YouTube on Tony's Picks YouTube channel, the 40,000 subscriber juggernaut, and I think that's where we can get started. I won't go too far into everything that I'm doing, but I think if you see me there making some picks, follow the show, that'll get us started in our. You can come see me every morning. I'm giving out plays, all the sports. Thanks, big guys.
There it is.
Appreciate you,
And
brother.
y'all already know the sauce. Big Ragu does it well in all sports right now. We at the Big Ragu peak right now. So y'all better be paying attention. We got the Breeders' Cup coming up. We got hockey opening. We got the NFL where he's on fire. We got college football where he's turning things around. And what else we got? Well, he's not gonna play much NBA,
I'm
but
just happy to be here with you guys, man. That's all I got to say.
but he's hitting them. Make sure y'all go follow Big Ragu because he's being transparent and putting it out there for y'all. But let them know what's up, Big Ragu.
Yeah, so we appreciate our followers, number one, without question, yo. And we've been running the same circles for about a good 6 years now, plus around that time frame. So, and the family keeps growing day by day. So, Ramon, always pleasure. Wine time, our group is just going to get better as we go on. But just keep following us, keep liking, subscribing, and follow everybody on the screen on Twitter. But yeah, I'll be back with you next Saturday, right? And then I'll be on with you. Catch me over on Pub Radio with Jimmy and the gang over there too. But Who-Bangin is where we're at here. And yeah, keep liking, subscribing, follow us on Twitter, and let's cash some tickets, fellas and gals. Shout out to Red Girl, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to Red Girl. She's been showing up like 4 or 5 weeks in a row, man. That's just a pleasure. A capper that you've known like over 5-6 years. That's just an awesome person in person, and a great crapper. Also, speaking of great cappers, shout out to my man Razor Sharp Picks. Make sure you go follow everything that he's doing over there. He will be touching the West Coast out here. I hear he's touching the West Coast for the Breeders' Cup coming up. Unfortunately, I can't be there for all the fun, but tap in with Wham, tap in with Gilmo, tap in with Jimmy, any of our West Coast Who-Bangin sports guys, and they're going to be joining all the festivities that they're doing for the Breeders' Cup this year. Make sure y'all go check that out. Make sure y'all look for the live sweat on Tuesdays. The DFS champs, that's your fantasy. We got that going on.
I was on that show this
Yeah,
week.
Damon.
Yeah. We got my man Damon doing that one. And then we also got our pro pick'em with my man X. That's been going well. I won the contest last week, ladies and gentlemen. So great things going on with there. You're gonna be seeing more Wham talk coming around the corner. It's just a whole bunch of stuff going on, and I forgot about somebody. Oh, Fight Lounge! Don't forget about Dylan on the Fight Lounge, because they're cashing tickets over there. I mean, everybody's cashing tickets.
UFC is underway right now, as a matter of fact. It started early.
And that show comes on Thursday, so all their picks and everything is already up. The fantasy on Wednesday, and all that stuff is up. So you set your fantasy lined up, your weekly, and your DraftKings, and all that good stuff. Who-Bangin Sports, a great place to be. This is what I kind of vision with Who-Bangin, is just keeping all the good cappers together as one big happy family, sharing information and supporting each other in all of our endeavors that we do on here. I'm saying a bit much, but I'm gonna get us something out of here. I'd like to say thank you to my whole panel right here for enjoying this time with us this morning. And we out of here, y'all. Y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy these sports today. We are out.